I was born addicted to cocaine from drug-addicted parents. Thank God I actually went home with my grandmother after a long stay in the hospital. I went home with her. We were very poor family. My mother went to jail, so she was never really part of my early childhood. She was in prison. But my father was in and out. He was a cocaine junkie, womanizer, had prostitutes in and out of the house all the time. We lots of times didn't have enough to eat, but it seems like drugs were always a part of it. There was always plenty of drugs. He actually he got me addicted to cocaine when I was 13. One of the very first memories I even had of my father, he had a prostitute rolled him up a joint, and they were smoking it. I said, man, that smells funny. I was probably 6 or 7. That smells funny, because they smoke cigarettes, but that smelled different. And she was like, oh, it's okay, that's your dad's medicine. You know what I mean? And now that I look back on it, it was just teaching me how to compromise. Just teaching me how to, well, if it's okay to smoke pot, it's okay to shoot dope. It's okay to, to be a meth addict. It's okay to be a heroin addict. No, it's not okay, by far. From my experience, I've seen adults use marijuana to either crutch a mental disorder, to come down off of harder drugs, of course. When you smoke it as an adult to crutch a mental disorder, depression, things of that nature, all it does is blinds you from reality. And then you don't go seek professional help for your depression. I've seen people commit suicide because of this reason. Kids, they smoke it thinking they're being cool. Well, here I've seen star athletes start smoking marijuana and drop out of sports. I've seen good students smoke it, drop out of school. I've seen kids that smoke it and have part-time jobs, lose their little part-time job, because it sucks all the ambition right out of them. Whether it's a gateway drug to harder drugs, I don't know, but I do know that once it's induced, that it can have the bad outweigh the good. I actually stopped smoking marijuana when I was 30 because of the anxiety attacks it gave me. It started giving me bad panic attacks, which that's the opposite of what they say it does for you. That's the exact opposite. I don't know. I guess it's a real touchy subject because it's coming up to be, to be voted on and everything. But I can't see how people would even begin to want to legalize something that's in that category, in that culture. I just don't see how that would be something they would want to do, to make it freely for these people to get it. Listen, if they're going to come and get the marijuana, they're going to get a doctor to prescribe it to them. They're going to get it. They're going to take it somewhere else, and they're going to get a hefty profit off of it, and that's not all they're going to be selling, though, I promise you that, because that's just a part of it. It's a part of that culture. Yes, I'm concerned about marijuana being legalized as medical marijuana, or whatever they want to call it. Just take a look at pain pills. Look at that. Look at the youth now that are addicted, insanely addicted to these things, that are killing them and putting them in hospitals and everything else. Well, you legalize it, it's going to make it easier to get. There's going to be some person out there on the street corner that's going to have a prescription for it. It's going to make it so easy. They're not going to have to run around and try to sneak around and get it anymore. It's going to be readily available for them. And it's already an epidemic on our youth right now. It was when I was a kid, so more so now. And I'm 38 years old. And it's we're treading on dangerous ground with it. I know we want our country to improve. We want to progress, not regress. And by smoking pot, it takes all I don't know if anybody here has ever smoked pot, but I've smoked it. And sucks the ambition right out of it. You don't want to do anything else. You want to lay around and eat. If that's you don't want to go study. You don't want to, you don't want to better yourself. Sure, it's going to be a big impact on our youth. You think it's bad now, they start putting it in doctors' offices, and it's going to be 10 times as bad.